Hi, Namaste. My name is Kartika and this is my channel Synchro Shakti. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to deal with your negative thoughts. But first, let's talk some theory. You are not inside your mind. In fact, your mind is inside you. You are not your mind. In fact, the mind is just a tool. That's all it is. Wherein your conscious mind is the thinker. It's a thought machine. It creates thoughts on autopilot. And the unconscious mind is the doer. It does whatever you feed it to do. Your mind does not have any real power over you. In fact, it is what you feed into your mind that creates your reality. And so the key to having a positive and healthy mind is not with anyone else, but with yourself. Your experiences, direct or indirect, leads to thought, which leads to action, which leads to experience, which leads to thought. To every thought, a negative thought pattern that you are having or a negative belief, there is a structure. To every negative thought, there is a neural pathway in your brain. And so for you to start thinking positively and to deal with negative emotions, you need to starve those neural pathways in your brain that are associated with the negative thoughts by not focusing on them and not feeding them and not identifying with them, but instead focusing on the positive aspects of the same situation, on seeing the gift in the experience, for finding the good in the moment and creating newer, more positive neural pathways that begin to create a more positive experience for you. Your conscious mind is designed to continuously keep thinking thoughts. It's a thinking machine. When you experience something extremely negative, extremely traumatizing, extremely life-shattering, the paranoia of that happening again will pop up in your conscious mind. The thought will pop up. And yes, there is a way to stop that pattern from occurring by breaking the structure, but a quicker and simpler way to deal with that is simply to accept that these thoughts will come, because the mind is designed to think. It's what it does. You're not your mind. You're not your thoughts. The thoughts come and go. Just like positive thoughts come and go, negative thoughts come and go. Just like hopes and dreams of amazing stuff comes and goes, paranoia can come and go. So the thought may or may not come when you're faced with a similar situation. But here's the kicker. Every time you have a thought, you have the choice to either let the thought have power over you or you take power over the thought. In my personal journey, having dealt with paranoia, panic and anxiety myself, I have come to learn 3 very important things that I do in order for me to deal with negative thoughts. The key to dealing with negative thoughts is to break the link between the thought appearing and the reaction to the thought. And this is how we do it. Step number 1, let the thought come. Be aware of what it is. Did it come in the form of an internal dialogue? Did it come in the form of a picture? Did it come in the form of a sound? Notice what it was and slow it down. So if it came in the form of an internal dialogue, kind of slow-mo the whole thing and listen to it slowly and let it pass by. So basically the key here is awareness. Be aware of what the thought was and allow it to pass by. Now at this point, you're thinking easier said than done, right? How do I just allow the thought to pass by? Give it a try. Some people like to see the thought and sort of just step back from that, realizing that that's not their thought, that's not who they are. So they step back into the seat of self or the seat of silence and allow the thought to pass by as a cloud. Now, before you jump into the whole easier said than done aspect, I invite you to take just this one step and try to conquer it or master this step, how much of a time you want to take to do that. Try to master this step. This in itself will give you personal power over your thoughts instead of it being the other way around. Step 2 is when you see yourself or notice yourself having a negative thought and you notice that it's causing a physiological reaction in your body where you're beginning to get frustrated, you can feel an emotional shift in your body, just take that thought and put it up on a stage. Put it up on, construct a small little stage in your head, put that thought up in the stage and you look, and you're the audience looking at the thought, and that's basically it. You're just watching this thought. It's not your thought, it's not who you are, it's just simply a thought. Now what I like to do is I like to see the thought as a cloud of dust, and so I tend to take this imaginary vacuum cleaner that just goes and like sucks up all of this thought and basically kills it and no longer exists in my reality. So this is a simple technique that I use. Basically what this does is that it shifts the power. Now the thought no longer has power over you because you are not reacting to it, you're not getting involved with it, but what you're doing is you're simply just watching it from an audience's perspective, and now you have power over it, and now you can just erase it or have a vacuum cleaner, whatever. And these are practices that when you do over time, it begins to become second nature. If you're somebody who is a compulsively negative thinker, these are steps that you must take because it doesn't come that naturally. Step 3 is replace that negative, terrifying thought with something that feels a lot more better. Try to see a positive in the situation, a gift in the experience. Even if the thought feels terrifying, can you tell yourself that I'm open to feeling good about something? For example, if you have struggled with a panic disorder or anxiety and you're afraid that something's going to happen or you're going to lose control, and you feel that if you leave the house or you eat something, you're going to lose control. If you've got a lot of paranoia going for you, then here's what you can do is you can say, okay, this is just a thought that passed my mind. Instead of saying this is real and this is what's going to happen and I'm going to lose control and I'm going to die, and that's what happens to a lot of people who suffer panic. What you can do is list the positive aspects of going out, meeting your friends, or eating something. Focus on the positive aspects, and as your mind begins to focus on all the good that could happen or the good that is the reality that manifests for you. Those are the 3 steps that I follow, but overall, the one advice I want to give you guys is practice being still, practice being quiet, match the inner and outer silence. The more you can sit back in the seat of silence, the more you can see reality from a space of clarity and make better decisions for yourself. So if there's anything you can take from here is be the observer of your thoughts. Stay in a space of quiet, practice stillness and silence, and negative thoughts would basically just come and go just like positive thoughts, and it wouldn't create that reactivity within you. And so that's it from me this week. Stay subscribed and tune in for next week's video where I talk about how to silence the mind, how to quieten the inner chatter and the monkey mind chatter. And so stay subscribed for that. On a closing note, if you're wondering why am I wearing a traditional South Indian sari, South Indian costume, and why am I sounding so dead and tired, is because I was out all day. I was emceeing at a South Indian classical music show, and which is why I sound really tired, so please forgive me for that, and please stay tuned for next week's video. Did you know that the red dot or the bindi is symbolic of the third eye? Actually, I don't know about that because there are many theories about it, but I had a small announcement to make. Basically, many of you already know that I've been doing personal one-on-one coaching full-time now. So for those of you who asked earlier if I have time now. So if you have anything that you would like me to help you with and you resonate with what I say and you'd like me to help you, then drop me an email at synchroshakti@gmail.com. The email address is in the description box, and I'll fill you in on all the packages and the pricing and everything. And I look forward to connecting with you and helping you make breakthroughs in your life. And thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again next week. Love you guys. Namaste. Bye.